Hi, my name is Zachary Lewis.
My name is Phoebe Hank, and this is our nonprofit organization called Field Innovators. According to the EPA, California has 300 landfills, and the 300 is the leading number in the whole entire United States. Only 54 of these landfills are active, making the other 206 landfills being buried and left to rot.
Yeah, so one of the things we wanted to improve on was the gas collection wells. So these gas collection wells take all the gases that are produced in the landfills and they produce electricity. We also wanted to improve on the chemical leaks that are in landfills, and we wanted to find some way to seal those. So our actual solution is to make an aluminum trash can. We wanted to put all of our trash in there, and there would be microorganisms that eat the trash and actually produces a gas called methane. This methane would go through the pipe, this one right here, and that would be directly connected to the methane gas generator. This gas generator does produce CO2, but that's why we have a pipe that would connect to the algae tank. This algae tank would then use the CO2 to produce oxygen.
So here is an explosion animation of how our model or our methane cell would look like. So it uses a trapdoor technology where the first door opens and you place your trash. And then when the first door closes, the second door opens and your trash will go all the way to the bottom of the cell. This makes it so that none of the methane fumes are able to be released into the atmosphere, and it's contained and it's sent through the pipe to create clean energy. So over here we have a prototype, and there's trash at the bottom, which is then broken down by microorganisms such as plastic-eating E. coli and C. testosterone. And the black here represents the methane plus CO2, and it goes through the pipe, which has a filtration system which separates the methane from the CO2 and creates clean methane. So now I will pass this model for you guys. And here is our solution. So over here is our methane cell, and the methane produced from the bacteria will go through a methane line, which will then go through the gas generator, which burns the methane and creates energy. So the methane energy will be stored in transformers and will also be sent to an electric grid to power residential areas and cities. The CO2 from burning will be sent to a carbon dioxide line, which will be sent to our algae tank, which the algae will turn the CO2 into oxygen.
So we also want to make this large scale. So we want to put this in landfills to not replace, but to improve on the gas collection wells. This would have around 6 units. We want to put this in recreational areas. We want to put this in parks. We want to put this in libraries. We even want to put this in office buildings. This is a statistic on the amount of gases that are produced in the landfills. And as you can see, the green one is methane. So that is a #1 problem when it comes to landfills. So for these, this is the cost and the energy production. For a small scale unit, this is around just 1 unit, and it would produce around 3 megawatts. It would cost from $15,000 to $30,000. That's just based on the generators, the algae tank, and the aluminum trash can itself. This would be 500 feet deep and 15 feet wide. And then for the larger units, which is usually 3 units, this would be in landfills. This would cost from $30,000 to $40,000, and that's just adding more generators, more algae tanks, and just more materials in general. This would be 800 feet wide and 30 feet, 800 feet deep and 30 feet wide.
So some of the benefits that we predict is that it's beneficial to the environment. Since all of the fumes are contained inside of the cell, that makes sure that none of the methane and none of the CO2 escape, making it so that there's less greenhouse gases in the air, and even if harmful emissions were to get out and landfills have harmful emissions that get out, and when they're out, they come from the floor and they are emitted into the air, they're carried by the wind, and they are taken over to cities and residential areas. These emissions are absolutely terrible for people, and they cause diseases such as pulmonary infections and respiratory chronic diseases. So some potential problems are the methane cells filling up with trash, although we do not.
That is time.
Great job.
Round of applause.